In Kinsale College, we're very interested in having an edible landscape, so that's what we aim for, and we plant more edible trees every year. One of my favourites is the Chilean guava berry, small little shrub that grows slowly but steadily. It's a nice evergreen shrub with dark colours, so it's suitable for semi-shade, but has these beautiful berries in October and into November with a nice hint of strawberry and some people say vanilla off them. They don't seem to suffer from any diseases or pests. The birds don't eat them. They don't need any pruning, so they really are an easy crop to grow. So that's the Chilean guava. This year I'm very excited to see the almonds growing. We got our best crop we have 2 trees, and this is the first year that the larger trees are giving us a nut, so we got about 70 almonds, and they're growing outside, they're not inside, and it's a nice sheltered spot up here in the college, and Kinsale College is reasonably in a location that doesn't suffer from frosts very often, so I think that's an important thing because it flowers very early in the year. So that's exciting that we can grow almonds in Ireland now too. We have pears and apples. We have a whole variety of pears, including Doya and Acamis, and so some of them are fruiting, and we need to do a bit of pruning on those now this year and a bit of mulching just to improve the yield on those. And yeah, we planted some Elstar and some Katie apples last year, so they're beginning to produce. An important thing is just to get the rootstock right so it doesn't grow too big for your site. But the more traditional ones, the bigger apple trees, are actually the best. They give the longest harvest over many years. They just need a bit of space, so yeah, they last a lot longer than some of the smaller dwarfing varieties that we have nowadays, but it just depends on your site really. If you're in a city garden, then the smaller apple trees would be good too. You can even get very small ones for balconies as well. We have 2 chestnuts on site, and we have an issue with a lack of pollination for those, so we get some chestnuts that are full, but most of them are very weak, and the chestnuts are not full of starch, which normal chestnut should be. So the trick is there's certain varieties with sweet chestnut, that improve pollination. So that's the key thing. It's always good to have a few trees planted and not just rely on 1 or 2. But at least we're still getting some bit of a harvest from those. Natives are very important too, so you have to have some plans for the birds as well and for other wildlife. It's not just about food for us. Guelder rose is an example of that, the Viburnum opulus. So it's a small shrub, so it's suitable for maybe smaller gardens as well. It is fully native, and beautiful white flowers early on in the year, in the first half, and then you get the lovely red fruit come September, October, so that some of the birds will eat. It is a medicine. You can consume them, but it's best to cook them first. They're not particularly nice raw. And beside that, in the college along the pathway, just as the students come up from the car park, is the crabapple. It's in full fruit now as I look out the window, and it has beautiful flowers earlier on in the year, which we normally take our class photo at the end of the year under that before we finish, and it has all the orange and yellow fruit on it at the moment. And again, some of the wildlife can eat that, but of course it's perfectly edible for humans too, so particularly good for making jams, and it has the pectin, so it can be preserved. Other bits and bobs we have around the college, there is the blackcurrant elderflower. We have a couple of those, and the beautiful spindle as well, which is one of my favourite. It has the pink fruit on it at the moment, but the elderflower of course has the white flowers in springtime, and then it's one of the most medicinal berries we have in terms of fighting off viruses and colds and flus. yeah, I think that's mainly most of the interesting ones for now.